Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkham, Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Skycast, and we are going to be diving into some talk about severe weather as well as activity beginning to pick up in the tropics. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, for today, we do have three areas that we are watching for severe weather. One up here towards portions of Montana, and then we have two more elevated risk areas. One being a slight risk from Missouri all the way up into Wisconsin, and then another one being a fairly larger slight risk from Georgia all the way up into Pennsylvania. Damaging winds, tornadoes, and hail will all be possible with this, especially that very, very large marginal risk that stretches from the Panhandle all the way down into Florida. Now, the severe risk is ongoing across portions of Minnesota and into Wisconsin. You can see we do have a few supercells beginning to pop up, especially this one here in portions of Hillsborough and Elroy. Rotation has died since the tornado warning was issued, which is good. We do also have another tornado warning and a yaw warning over here towards Rochester in southeastern Minnesota. And then these severe thunderstorm warnings are really beginning to pick up across Iowa, and this will continue to strengthen as this goes east. So definitely remaining severe weather aware would be smart. Isolated tornadoes, damaging winds will be the primary threat, but that hail threat will also remain possible, especially with developed supercells. So stay weather aware all the way over into Green Bay, Milwaukee, just for the safety part of it. Be weather aware this afternoon and evening. And if we are looking at the MRMS, lots of rainy activity across the CONUS today. We have severe warnings in Ohio, severe warnings in Pennsylvania, rain all the way up into portions of Maine. Severe warning in Delaware, severe warning down here in Georgia, ton of special weather statements up and down the board. There was even one over here in the Panhandle, one over here in New Mexico. Very, very widespread rainy activity today. On top of all that, it is very hot, so those summer pop-up showers are definitely going to get going, especially across the East Coast. So definitely smart to remain weather aware in case one or two of these do go strong to severe. And you can see that these severe warnings do continue to pop up, especially here across the southeast where we're watching that severe weather threat begin to ramp up. As we get into tomorrow, an elevated severe weather risk remains in effect. We do have marginal risk from Louisiana to Florida on up into Pennsylvania. We do have another little smaller area from Michigan down into Indiana and Ohio, but we are monitoring a greater threat across North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And we don't have a huge tornado potential. I do think that this will end up being a dominant hail threat, but I would not be shocked to see this tornado potential get upgraded to that 5% risk. We could see a few isolated supercells. Once again, a damaging wind is going to be a threat, but like I said, hail dominant threat. We have that 15% significant for hail in 2 inches in diameter or greater. That can damage your car, that can damage your home. So this could end up being a little bit more of a significant severe weather event than what we've seen the last few days. Definitely something just to keep an eye on. Now, if we are working on timing this out, timing does look to be between the afternoon and the evening hours. Once we get into about 4 and 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, storms should begin to fire across the Dakotas. Once we get towards the 6 to 7 p.m. range, that's when things should mature, and then by 7 to 8 is when things will really begin to ramp up. This is going to continue to transition into the night. Big time cluster of supercells expected to develop across North Dakota. This is going, you can see very, very intense thunderstorm activity expected from the HRRR. HRRR this year has been all over the place, so definitely something we're going to have to continue to monitor to see how trends favor. But big time hail threat definitely a possibility across the Dakotas. Storms aren't really convecting too well on this model. Here across South Dakota and Nebraska, there likely will be storms through these areas. This model is just underdoing it and isn't really firing anything off. A couple reasons why that could be, but North Dakota definitely, my opinion, will be the highlight of these severe weather risks. So anywhere across central and even into portions of eastern North Dakota, be weather aware tomorrow night. Definitely need to be. And if we do pull up a analog for this, not an analog, but a sounding off this is a marginal tornado sounding, so that isolated tornado threat will remain. But this is really a significant hail. You can see on the analogs, this is more of a dominant hail threat for 61% SIG, it says. So definitely interesting. A lot of cape and stuff available in the atmosphere, that storm juice to get storms going. This one is a slight bit contaminated, but this is the best one that I've been able to find. Also, one thing that we are watching, that there may be a slight cap in the atmosphere that may limit storms for a little bit, but it's not looking like it's going to be anything that should inhibit storms. Definitely something just to note as a possible fail mode. Then we also have severe weather on the Saturday, day 3. Kind of the same general area, big time northeast, not northeast, but Midwest threat. This has the 15% probability of becoming severe, so definitely something to keep weather aware, keep an eye on. And then we also have a marginal risk out here towards Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, all the way down into Virginia. So once again, something else to remain weather aware. Not really anything too insane, no major outbreaks that we're expecting for the next 3 days, but some isolated significant severe weather does look possible and does look likely. Also, for the weather, one thing that we have had is Tropical Storm Andrea in the far Atlantic Ocean. Really not anything that was insanely strong, lasted for I think a day, but it did get named as a tropical storm before dying off. So very interesting to see that things are beginning to slowly pick up. Tropics are not all that quiet. We've had a few Pacific hurricanes. We're now starting to see the Atlantic wake up. So something to continue to tune into as we get into towards peak hurricane season. And then one last thing I do want to discuss is the heat across the United States. Definitely today not as hot out as many places have seen, but heat indexes between 100 and 115 degrees have been observed. And you can see all these orange and even this pink area here are heat advisories and extreme heat warnings. And if we do take a look at some of these, this is heat index values still up to 102 degrees. So not as insane. It's slowly beginning to calm down and will likely calm down a lot more by tomorrow as that high pressure ridge moves out. But it has been roasty toasty across the CONUS, and top of one of the reasons why we have all this rain, those little pop-up summer showers, with all that heat in the atmosphere helping those storms to get going. Usually don't last that long, but they're definitely there, and once again, that strong to isolated severe. So hopefully we'll get some of that cooling down, but it has been really, really hot, especially here in Kentucky over the last few days. Now, besides that, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather. You can follow me, link in the description here on X. Post updates as they happen. Tomorrow is also my birthday, June 27th, so that's something cool that's going to be happening. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather. My name is Christian, and I'll see you guys in the next one.